Welcome guys. In this video we will look at the place value chart and we will use the base 10 system to help us understand the relationship between the place values. So let's go ahead and start with the ones place. Now we all know that the ones place has a value of 1 and we represent it using a unit cube because 1, 1 can be represented with a unit cube. Let's go ahead and jump over to the tens place. We know that the tens place is represented, first of all, has a value of 10, and it is represented with one of these tens rods, which have a value of 10. Here we can make our first observation. If you notice, there is 10 unit cubes and 1 tens rod. So that means that when we went from our ones to our tens place, our value increased 10 times. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and jump over to our hundreds place. And we use a flat to represent that because there's 100 in here. We call them flats because, well, I mean, they're flat. So if you notice, you have 10 tens rods and 1 flat that give you a total of 100 units. So the value of the hundreds place, of course, is a 100. So that means that when we went from our tens place to our hundreds place, our value increased by 10 times. So if you notice, there is a trend going on here. So what do you think is going to happen when we go up to our thousands place? Well, you guessed it. First of all, we use a cube like this one to represent the thousands because there is 1,000 unit cubes in here, so that gives you a value of 1,000. And well, if you look at these, there would be 10 flats in 1 cube. So that means that, again, you multiply the value 10 times to get the value of the thousands place. So if you notice here, guys, 1 unit times 10 will give you 10 units. 10 units times 10 will give you 100 units. And 100 units times 10 will give you 1,000 units. And you can keep it going. But I just don't have enough blocks to represent it because we go up to our 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, and it keeps going forever, guys. So for now, let's just focus on this. So remember, guys, as you move to the left on your place value chart, your places increase 10 times every time. So the next question is, what happens when you go the opposite direction? So let's go ahead and make some room here and erase this. And what happens when you go the opposite way? So when we go right every time? Well, if you remember, when we went this way, we multiplied. So when we go the opposite, you're going to do the opposite. So what is the opposite of multiplication? Well, it's division, right? So instead of multiplying by 10, we're going to undo it and divide by 10. And let me explain how that happens, or why it happens. Well, let's take a look at these first, the 10s and the 1s. If I have a 10 units here, and you divide this by 10, you'll end up with 10 units. So that means when you divide 10 into 10, you're going to get one of these. So that means that 1 unit is 1/10 of a 10. Same thing here. When you divide 100 into 10, you will get tens. So that means that 110 is 1/10 of 100, and the same thing with these two. 100 is 1/10 of 1,000 because you would need 10 hundreds to make 1,000. So again, guys, as we move to the right to the place value chart, we undo each one by dividing by 10, which makes it a tenth. So 100 is 1/10 of 1,000, 10 is 1/10 of 100, and 1 is 1/10 of 10. So that is the place value relationships, guys. But if you still have any questions, go ahead and watch this video again, or just come to my table and ask me a question, guys, and I'll be more than happy to answer it. But for now, guys, thank you, and I will see you next time.